Off to Stonebridge, I hear? Before you depart, I have something I would discuss with you if you're willing. The Lescanzi occupation depleted the town's stores. If we cannot replenish them soon, Raven's Rill may not survive the winter. I know the Legion has done a great deal for us already, but I fear I must ask your help again.
I take it you have a plan?
Indeed. Raven's Rill sees few travelers these days, but I believe the Hero's Crypt could draw pilgrims from across Ebb as it once did. With pilgrims would come merchants, and the town could fill its larders before the winter.
Tell me about this Hero's Crypt.
The Hero's Crypt is where the heroes of the Sect Resurgence were interred. It was considered a holy site, and pilgrims flocked to it. After the crypt was sealed, the pilgrims stopped coming. I believe that if we open it again, we can bring prosperity back to Raven's Rill.
Why would the holy site be sealed in the first place?
I'm not entirely sure. It happened just before the fall of the Legion.
Why do you need the Legion's help?
The doors of the monument are sealed by Legion magic. They are impervious to any form of counter-magic or physical destruction. They can only be opened by the signet rings of the Legion families who commissioned its construction, the Montbarons and the Gundricks. I understand you've already found Montbarron's signet ring. If you can locate Lord Gundric's ring, you'll be able to open the crypt.
Where can I find this ring?
I believe you will find the ring in the old Gundrick Manor. Sounds familiar, does it not? Don't look so surprised. Very little happens in the Rukenval without my knowledge. I am quite aware that you agreed to help the witch Leona. She's trying to get her hands on the manor, is she not?
You seem to know a lot about me, Lazar. Where did you hear this?
Let's just say Leona has a certain skill at manipulating situations to her advantage. She has coveted that manor for years. It seems that this time, her goals and mine are as one. It's a heavy price to pay, letting that witch settle here, but I need to put the immediate safety of the townsfolk first.
Tell me what you know about Gundrick Manor.
The Gundricks have a long history in the Rill. The last of them, Stefan, refused to join Hugh Montbarron in the fight against Jane Cassinder. Being a renowned wizard as well as a gifted warrior, Stefan believed he could best protect his court behind the walls of his manor. Lord Gundrick and his Legion mages cast a powerful spell over the manor to ward off the invaders, but something went terribly wrong.
So what happened to Gundrick and his mages?
I don't know what transpired within the manor. No one does. I do know that no living soul has emerged from that place in over 30 years. Several residents of the Rill have attempted to explore the manor, some of them manipulated by Leona, no doubt. None have returned.
All right, I'll do what I can.
The ring must be somewhere inside Gundrick Manor. Everyone knows that place is haunted by something foul. Tread its halls with caution. I've business back in town. Find me there when you've acquired the ring.
Look out! Die! Be judged! Look, the bridge is repaired, just as Martin said.
Hold on there. The roads ahead aren't safe. Heavy smoke down there. From the looks of it, there was another battle in the swamp. Azunite Church on one side, Royalists on the other. They're always at it. I was questioned by soldiers down the road. They were Azunites, Jane Cassinda's men, and not a friendly lot.
Any opinion on the church soldiers? You seem to have run into them before.
The church army is the right hand of Jane Cassinda, but these men seemed more mercenary than proper soldier. They may call her a living saint, but any woman who hires Lescanzi must be a little crooked. No offense to you, miss.
Have you dealt with the Royalists before?
They don't harass me on the road, so that makes them at least a touch better than Jane's soldiers. I think they're an honorable lot, but I don't see them winning this war. They'll die for a queen who's the last of her line, and barely more than a girl.
Fighting in the swamp doesn't seem like the best place for a battle.
The Royalists are holed up in the Glitterdelve mine to the northwest, and Jane's army marches from the Azunite coast southeast of here. This swamp has the misfortune of being right between the two. This certainly isn't the first time we've had trouble here. Why I still take these routes, I don't know.
Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful.
I'll stay up here for a while, see if things calm down.
An avalanche? Here. I do not think nature is to blame for this.
Order of Jane Cassander. None shall pass this.
Look, you idiots, they're legionnaires! Get them!
You are finished!
They must be with the Royalists. Get them!
Victory!
Those were Jane Cassinder's men. They're hunting for anyone with Legion blood. Probably shouldn't have worn a suit of Legion armor. Dead giveaway. Hang on. You didn't pass a child on the road, did you? Golden?
I saw no one besides a merchant. Why do you ask?
Got a bit lost in a swamp. This boy appears out of nowhere. Leads me back to the trail. He said I'd meet others of Legion blood coming down from the north. But that would mean... Wait. Are you with the Legion? I heard news of a slaughter. Dozens killed. After all the rumors, I feared I might be the last.
A lot of us were killed, but Odo lives. Martin Giscard, too.
Good old Martin. His father died with mine in the Mournweald. If we live through this and rebuild the Legion, he'd make a fine Grand Master.
What else do you know about Giscard?
He fought in the wars. Doesn't talk about it much. I'm not even sure which side he took, but it must have been the Royals. Surely not the Church, or the mockery it's become in the hands of Jane Cassinda.
Are you from a Legion family?
Sorry, I should have introduced myself properly. I'm Lucas Montbarron.
You're the son of Hugh Montbarron, so the estate that burned down, that was yours?
My family's estate, not mine. I had no love for that place. No real memories of it either. Better that it's gone. We ought to put that part of our past behind us.
You weren't at the gathering. What happened?
I ran into trouble in the swamp. Some sort of battle between Jane Cassinda and the Royals. Roads blocked, trails collapsed, soldiers everywhere. They've been slaughtering each other for years, all for a few inches of swamp one way or the other.
The Legion will rebuild Ebb, alone, if need be.
Sounds like something Odo would say. Can't trust anyone but ourselves. Lessons of the past and all that. Maybe he's right. He's managed to survive longer than anyone else, so it's difficult to argue with him.
Come with us. We're heading south to reopen the Grand Chapter House.
Plenty of trouble between here and Stonebridge. I'm at your service. Lead on.
Anyone that kills Azanites is a friend of ours. General Devonsey is further on ahead. Just follow the path.
Dead royalists everywhere. And hardly any Azanites at all.
Stand away there. Not so close to the General.
Never mind. I can hardly be called a general, with Her Majesty's army lying dead all around us.
Sorry, Lord Devonsey. Sir.
Forgive the boy. A few months ago he was a royal page. Now he's a soldier. Such are the depths to which we have fallen. I'm surprised to see any travelers on the road, with so many of Jane Cassinda's soldiers about. What brings you to this ill-omened place?
We were sent by the Legion. We're heading south to reclaim the old chapter house in Stonebridge.
Well said. Best to be open with him. Perhaps he'll return the favor.
The Legion? So the rumors are true. A gathering in the north. The rebirth of the old Legion. That's beside the point, though. I'm afraid you're stuck here with the rest of us. The western road has collapsed and we're surrounded on all sides by impassable swamp.
All the dead soldiers were yours? How did this happen?
Jane Cassinder's army was encamped in the swamp. I thought I'd catch her unaware, send her scrambling back to the spire. So I force-marched out of Glitterdale, sighted her troops at the base of the cliffs, and gave chase. In the first charge, we drove half her forces into the bogs. I could see Jane not 50 feet from my lines. She had nowhere to run.
You smelled victory, and that's when the battle turned.
Jane sent a few of her sappers round back of my lines. They collapsed the roads behind me. A clever move, I'll give her that. Half my army, the young ones mostly, saw their escape route cut off. Didn't matter that we were winning. They panicked, broke and ran. Some of the veterans held their ground and died where they stood. The rest retreated here.
She boxed you in, with her forces on one side and the bogs on the other.
Killed half my people with the cannons. The rest tried to flee into the bogs and drowned. And here I am, trapped in this swamp, cut off from the Queen. She has only her maids to protect her now.
What forces do you have left?
Only the baggage train and a few cannons. One of my officers, Roderick, had command of the baggage train. He managed to keep the wagons out of sight, hid them under those massive roots. Unfortunately, the men who are guarding the wagons are my greenest troops, former servants and the like. The only blades they've ever wielded are kitchen knives.
What about those massive roots? We can walk across them like a road.
Indeed, they'd support our weight, and my cannons and wagons too. But the roots are separated by stretches of water. In order to create a path, we'd have to raise the land between them. Impossible, you might say. But I have a man in my army with power over earth and stone. A scholar called Phineas. If only he were here.
This Phineas can raise a land bridge between the roots? How is that possible?
He's made a study of earth magic. Geomancy. The old magic of the dwarves. It's all very incomplete, but a movement of earth by simple brute force. Yes, I think he could manage that much.
You've actually seen Phineas use earth magic?
When Jane's cannons had us surrounded, somehow he drew the earth up over our heads, protected us both from the enemy's fire. Saved my life. That's proof enough for me.
We need to find this scholar Phineas. Where has he gone?
He was among the first to be taken by the damned savages. They fell upon us not long after the battle, and they've been mounting raids and abducting our wounded ever since. First people, that's what the scholars call them. Only Azanai knows what they call themselves. I thought of mounting an attack on their village to rescue Phineas and the others, but my surviving soldiers are too few and too young. If I had your help, though...
Agreed. We'll help you rescue this Phineas and the rest of your people, if they still live.
My scouts tracked one of the raiding parties to a village east of here. Not far at all. I'll gather whatever men I can, the ones who can still fight, and we'll meet you there.
I saw you speaking with the General. We must be in dire straits to rely on passers-by. But Lord Devonsey has seen fit to trust you. You already know of the savages in the bog. Beastly lot they are. Some of our best soldiers were captured in their raids. Others have gone missing. We sent scouting parties into the bog. I armed them as best I could, but baggage train attendants are hardly soldiers. They haven't returned for hours.
This was a massacre. How did you survive the battle?
We panicked. Well, the young soldiers did anyway. After Jane collapsed the road behind us, we were so close to victory. I kept the baggage train here instead of risking an escape. The enclosure gave us just enough cover to survive the assault.
A swamp is hardly a place for heavy wagons. Was your cargo worth the trouble?
Basic supplies needed for the troops, but also cannons, powder kegs, and the like. Perhaps we could find a way out of this muck-ridden cesspool on foot, but those cannons are needed in Glitterdelve.
If your people are raw recruits, they won't survive long in the swamp. Let me look for your missing soldiers.
You surprise me. I can offer you little more than some extra supplies, and my thanks. Look for them to the east, out in the bog. We sent out 2 scouting parties. Hopefully the swamp hasn't claimed them. Devonsey won't permit any more of us to leave camp, so you're the only chance they'll get.
I know that man.
He commands the Royal Army. You've probably heard his name in news of some battle or other.
Can't just be that. His face is too familiar. Hang on. I've seen him in a portrait. Standing right next to my father. More brown in his hair, and not so much of the silly sideburns, but it was him. There were others in the portrait too. Legionnaires, all of them. We should tell Odo about this, when we see him again. Ugh. Disgusting creatures. I'd soon kill rats. Looks like trouble. Look here. These roots are like a primitive door, or a gate. Heads up!
There are too many. Fall back. Fall back.
Damn natives. You made short work of them. I'm glad we're on the same side. We got split up from the rest of our party in the confusion. We're heading back to camp, but if you find the others, please help them.
There, look. The savages haven't seen us yet, but this is the edge of their village. Phineas and the other prisoners are probably being held on the far side, or maybe in the trees above.
Is this all the soldiers you could gather? I thought we'd have more support.
The others were wounded, or too unproven to be trusted in a close fight. These few are veterans. They've been with me since the Battle of Drakkenberg, or before. They're blooded and fearless to a man.
They have the advantage of numbers.
But we have the advantage of surprise, and their numbers will count for little in that maze of platforms and islands. Once we get to the other side, on open ground, that will be the real test.
Do you have a strategy in mind?
Everything depends upon finding their leader, the Chief Shaman. If we take him alive, we can negotiate from a position of strength. Damn, they've seen us. We're out of time.
A trap. Well, good. Nowhere to go but forward.
We are Urshamesh. We bow before no outsider. You are not welcome here. You bring fire and poison to our home. You kill our sacred trees, and you move the crawlers to madness. Now you kill my seed in my village. I come to tell you that you will stop, or Maru Yetum will send you to the River of Souls.
I didn't come here to fight. We just want our people back.
If you do not come to fight, why dress for war? Your blades were already wet with Urshamesh blood. For years you come and battle here. You kill warriors in metal and Urshamesh warriors. It matters.
I know nothing of your people. Who are you?
I am Maru Yetum, he who whispers with Nagog, High Shaman to all in this village. We are the Urshamesh, the first people. This is our place. You do not belong here.
You say the swamp is sacred, but we know nothing about it. Why do your people care?
Long ago, the Old One, Nagog, fell from the sky. Our fathers made a sacred bond with it as it lay dying. So we all became Urshamesh.
Gods falling from the sky. Just like the old story of the creator gods.
The Old One died and became the damp. When you walk, your feet touch Nagog. When you breathe, you inhale Nagog. All is Nagog. All is sacred.
The damp? What is that?
All that is out there, beyond our home. The old roots, the deep waters, the cold mist. All is the damp.
There's only one thing we want, and that's the men you took from us.
And why should I return your warriors? You have killed many of my seed. You have burned the ground and poisoned our waters with your dead.
It was Jane Cassinda who burned your swamp and killed your people, not us. I ordered my army to leave you alone.
You fought in the damp and killed Ushamish for years. You now speak names unknown to Maru Yictum to hide the truth. You are all enemies. When our blades pierce your heart, Maru Yictum will feed your flesh to the crawlers.
Rally to me!
Maru's had enough. Let's go after him. Up those roots. One more down.
I'll hold the savages here. Go on ahead. Find the captain.
Now this should be a challenge.
Now, Firebringer, prepare yourself for death. As my warriors, show them the pride of the earth. These beasts follow my word, and my word only.
Let us out of here. Please, I don't want to die in some savage's cookpot.
Ancestors, hear me. Lend me your strength. Not pull that little damn walk softly outside. We are Urshamesh. We bow before no outsider.
Watch your blood.
Not pull that little damn walk softly outsider. Stop. Put down your blade, Firebringer. No warrior has defeated Maru Yetum since he first whispered with Nagog. I will not fight you. Your spirit is stronger. Today, all Urshamesh know the Firebringer's power and give respect. Take your warriors back and walk in peace.
You've been beaten. Don't forget this. We'll defend ourselves again if need be.
None of my warriors will forget. We will not challenge you again. It has always been this way. If the strongest of us cannot kill you, then no Urshamesh will. Take this charm. It is known to the roots and vines that I command, and they will bow before you to let you pass. Walk free amongst my seed, and in peace.
We kill half their tribe, and suddenly we're friends. Stupid system of diplomacy, if you ask me.
We give you this offering, Firebringer. Take it.
I'm glad to be free, but I'm sorry that so many natives had to die. I wish there could have been a less violent solution. The Urshamesh are a fascinating people. It's like they've taken all of our values and turned them on their heads, and then shrunk them. Yes, those babbling heads are more than a little revolting, but the natives have their reasons for that too.
Is it true? Can you get us out of the swamp?
Indeed. I never thought studying old dwarven lore would turn me into such a valuable instrument of war. That certainly wasn't my intention. Lord Devonsey is a good friend. He would not have left me, even if I didn't have my magic. But now that I'm free, I should be able to fashion a bridge of mud and roots. It's a bit larger than anything I've done before, but I'll manage.
You seem a bit taken with the first people. A little odd since they might have killed you.
The Queen has my loyalty first, but I was a scholar before I was a soldier. These villagers are endlessly interesting. They may be savage, but they're not evil. They just want to be left alone. Not so different from most people, really.
What are those talking heads that I've seen around the village?
They're Urshamesh ancestors. It's really quite unusual. For these people, death is the ultimate tragedy. Not in the way that you or I might think, though. For them, a spirit that returns to the River of Souls is forever lost to his clan. A most terrible fate. So when a kinsman dies, they capture his soul and then place it in his shrunken head. I haven't the foggiest idea how they do it. And those chattering heads, they're a dour bunch.
Geomancy seems different from the magic of the Legion. How does it work?
Because geomancers use their magic to move the earth, many have likened the art to the undisciplined chaos of shamanism or witchcraft. In actuality, it's a form of magic that demands patience. Conveying this essence is difficult. After all, whole libraries are dedicated to the art. But you might say that molding the energies isn't unlike a gem cutter's work, carefully shaping the rough stone into a polished jewel.
How did you learn about the dwarves and their magic? Did you have a teacher?
No, sadly. We've suffered many losses in our service to the Queen. And to my shame, that included the dwarves under her care. We simply don't know if there are any survivors. No clans have contacted us. And even the great mine of Glitter Delve, where Her Majesty lives, is empty. I learned all that I know by studying the tomes there, and I'll continue to preserve what I can. It's a small act of penance for so great a sacrifice.
The sooner we can leave this swamp, the better. Can you raise the land bridge soon?
As soon as we return to the camp, I'm sure we'll be moving out soon.
I must be off. My road takes me to Stonebridge.
Indeed. We are all in your debt. These are troubling times, but your actions remind me of kinder days. Days when the Legion and the Crown served one another. May we meet again.
She doesn't look anything like the first people.
So you're the one who led the attack. Was it worth it? I can only hope that the lives you took were necessary. I came here because I didn't want to serve Azanai through war. Now that you've done your fighting, you might help me tend to its victims. I've been collecting materials from the swamp that I can use as remedies and cures. Will you help me find more?
This isn't the place I'd expect to find an Azanite. How did you get here?
I was once an apprentice alchemist. A promising one, I might add. When my father fell gravely ill, I found that none of my cures would help him. I prayed and prayed, and Azanai saved my father. Since then, I've dedicated my life to his service. Unfortunately, Most Azanites seem to think that spilling blood in Jane Cassinder's name is the only true means of worship. I teach the children and help the villagers with my remedies. It's a simple life, but better than fighting in Jane Cassinder's army.
What are you looking for? Gathering a few roots doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
If only it were that easy. I've no shortage of bog plants, but slug eggs, that's a different story. They have extraordinary healing properties. With all the bloodshed that's taken place here, the villagers have need of such aid.
I must be off. I will look for the eggs when I'm in the bog.
Thank you, and be careful out there. The slugs can be rather vicious.
This looks determined. One more down.
Thank Azun. Now we have a chance. I don't know who you are, but you just walked into a frac's nest of trouble. Good thing Roderick sent you. We wouldn't have survived. You have our thanks. We should be able to make it back to the camp on our own. We'll tell Roderick what happened, but I'm sure he'll want to thank you himself.
Nest of slugs. Careful of their eggs, they'll attack us all at once. all the arses of all the saints! What is that stench?
I can hardly believe it. All my men have returned, safe and sound. It may not seem like much, but believe me when I say that you've given us hope. Raised the morale of the men. Please, take these supplies. We'll say they fell off the wagon on the way to Glitterdelve. You've more than earned them.
Thanks for clearing a safe path. Guess I'll set up. Shop here until we find a way out.
We go our separate ways from here. Pity to see you go. The Queen could use good people like yourselves.
A pity also that my freedom was purchased in blood. The first people were only safeguarding their land. From their point of view,
That's more than enough, Phineas. I'll not hear any ungrateful talk, not in front of our benefactors.
Easy to sympathize with your enemies when others do the fighting for you.
Phineas has never shouldered responsibility for anyone but himself. His words were rash. In the future, he will hold his tongue.
Now that we've rescued your people, where will you go?
I'll march what forces I have to Glitterdelve. Try to get there ahead of Jane Cassinda. With these cannons, we can mount a respectable defense. We'll hold Jane's army at every gatehouse, every choke point. Keep the Queen out of enemy hands. But it's no longer a question of victory. Not with the forces I have left, and no allies to support us.
Once I've crossed the bog, what's the fastest route to Stonebridge?
On the far side of the water, you'll find an old trading road. It should bring you straight to Stonebridge.
How long will it take to raise the land bridge?
not long. I'll begin straight away.
If our fortune holds, then Jane Cassinda will not have reached Glitterdelve. Not yet. We'll march to Queen Rosalind's side as quickly as we can. Perhaps we'll see each other again before this war is done.
We promised you a road out of the swamp. Follow me.
Fresh air at last. Stonebridge can't be far.
I thought I might find you here on this road. Did you think you could betray our people and live?
You want revenge? And why is that?
You slaughter us by the score, butcher us like animals, and you dare to ask why? I am Svarbog, son of Zarya the Witch, who died at your hand. You will answer for her death, and for the deaths of all my kin.
Be on guard.
Welcome to Stonebridge. I see you are a 10th Legionnaire. I am instructed to treat you with tepid disdain and mistrust. Your nation, faction, race, or institution has a negative history in our city. Local constables will keep you under careful observation. Please state the nature of your visit to our fair city.
There's no need for the hostility. We're here on Legion business.
The official census indicates that 0 citizens in Stonebridge are registered members of the 10th Legion. Perhaps you are in the wrong city? Regardless of your reasons, Stonebridge is open to the public. You are free to go, unless you require further assistance.
We're looking for the Grand Chapter House.
The Grand Chapter House is located on the south side of the Central Plaza. It is officially vacant, but some treasure seekers have gone inside. They have not come back out.
What sort of assistance does a talking construct provide?
I am a constable model automaton. I provide peacekeeping support, navigational assistance, and feline wrangling services.
Tell me more about this city.
Just ask the Stonebridge Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. This city is a beacon of innovation, commerce, and technology. Marvel at the elaborate system of gears that power the city. Behold our markets of plentiful goods. Inhale non-fatal doses of smog. Stonebridge is home to men and goblins dedicated to freedom and self-reliance. It is also home to thousands of feral housecats.
We'll be on our way.
Be advised, causing a disturbance may result in fines, detainment, bodily harm, or death. Enjoy your stay.
Stonebridge. Hasn't been a Legionnaire in this city for almost 30 years.
New in town? By the looks of you, you aren't here to buy my simple wares. Perhaps you can help me. I need someone who isn't afraid of a little danger.
What sort of help do you need?
I'm expecting a shipment of clothing, and the caravan is late. It's not exactly bars of gold, but silk is pricey enough to tempt thieves. Out east of the city, there's a camp of Lascanzi, deserters from Jane Cassender's army. They're looting every caravan that passes by. I'm not the only merchant waiting for that shipment. I need someone to scare off those thieves. Or kill them, if need be.
Don't worry. We'll make sure the road is clear.
Thank you. I will, of course, make this worth your while. The thieves are camped near the road, east of the city, not far from the swamp. Good luck to you. I'll await your return.